Alan Brown. Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker, for allowing me to speak, to make my maiden speech in today's debate. As usual, the previous maiden speeches were the highest quality and they're a hard act to follow, but I do feel obliged to point out that Scotland's a nation and not a region. Now, as somebody who's stayed in the constituency my entire life, it's a real honour to represent Kilmarnock Loudon, to be here and speak on behalf of my constituents. Madam Deputy Speaker, too often when we get elected, I don't think we pay enough tribute to the thousands of volunteers who work tirelessly in our campaigns, so I'd like to put my thanks on record for the people who's helped me get here. Now, this is actually particularly poignant for myself because sadly my campaign manager, John Mackay, died a couple of weeks ago, and it's his funeral this Friday. Now, such was the efforts John Mackay made for the SNP. He was given a Lifelong Achievement Award back in 2007, but even then he was still working away, working hard for the party up until he passed away. Now, when I asked John to be my campaign manager, I initially said no, but such was the mark of the man that the next day he came back to me and says, "Alan, I'll give it one more go." So thanks to John, and obviously his last campaign was certainly a successful one. Now, as the new SNP MP for Kilmarnock Loudon, I'd like to pay tribute to my predecessor, Cathy Jimison, who worked hard for her constituents. Now, although only a one-term MP, Cathy Jimison also represented part of the era at Scottish Parliament, so has actually worked at parliamentary level since 1999 and also acted as a government minister. So she's served at the highest level in Scottish politics, and I wish her well in the future. Now, to describe the constituency for the House, Kilmarnock Loudon is a mix of rural and urban. It's got a proud history and it's got vibrant and resilient communities. There's fantastic rolling countryside. That means within my constituency you can go for great walks. There's great cycle tracks and paths. You can actually ski all year round at a dry ski slope. You can participate in motor sports. You can fish or you can go hunting. You can also try your hand at the only golf club in the world. So there's lots to see and do in my constituency, and I'd urge honourable members to pay it a visit. Now, moving on, just talk about people and places constituency. As the UK moves to remember the 200th anniversary of Waterloo, I can advise the House that one of the two French standards that were captured at the battle was done by Ensign Ewart from Kilmarnock. Now, another hero of that escapade was Hugh Hutchison, who comes from the village of Galston. Within my constituency, we've got Kilmarnock Academy, which is one of the few schools in the UK to provide two Nobel Prize winners. There's Lord Boydor from Comores and also Sir Alexander Fleming from the village of Darvo, who discovered penicillin. The first gas streetlights in Britain were provided in the village of Muirkirk, and Muirkirk also pioneered Tarmac Adam roads. The village of Cross House provided a 3 times Labour Prime Minister in Australia. We've got Dunlop, which is home to famous Dunlop cheese. Stewarton, where David Dale was born and grew up. Village of Fenwick, where there's the oldest known cooperative society. Catherine, one of the original mill towns in Scotland, had one of the original cotton mills. We've also got the villages of Sorn, Lugar, Logan, Gatehead and Knockentibber, which in line with many other communities in my area have been closely associated with the coal mining industry. Madam Deputy Speaker, if I give the obligatory football reference, my constituency has got the oldest professional team in Scotland, Kilmarnock FC. And Kelly FC are currently celebrating the 50th anniversary of a historic league championship win. And there's the only non-city team in Scotland to win the league championship. Sticking with football, just recently I was at the Scottish Junior Cup final, where I was able to witness Auchinleck Talbot win the cup for a record 11th time. And last year, Hurlford United won the cup as well. So there's a good football pedigree in my constituency. Now, the constituency is also Burns country. The Bard moved to Mauchline, and this is where he met his wife, Jean Armour. Kilmarnock gave us the Kilmarnock edition of Burns' early works, and that's what set him on his way. And probably not so well known to the House, as it was a minister from the village in New Mills, my original home village, it was this minister that persuaded Burns not to emigrate to the West Indies. So it's thanks to my constituency in these combination events that we're able to enjoy Burns. And in that, I would like to just quote one of his greatest phrases, and that is that man to man, the world over, shall brothers be for all that. Now, for me, that is all about equality. And I think we can see how that does not chime with what's happening in this House at the moment. Equality is not cutting 12 billion from the poorest in our society. It's not doing what happened last week, taking a vote which actually deems people in this country as not equal and not able to vote. I think that's an outrage. Where's equality when I've got the House of Lords next door? And there's a democratic deficit there, and I can't believe the democratic deficit. The Tories want to actually address that. They want to cut the number of elected representatives rather than the number of unelected representatives. Where's equality when we've got people depending on food banks? And we heard today there's a clear link between sanction and food banks, despite what was said by the Secretary earlier on. Now, I'm running out of time, but obviously equality is what should be underpinning this debate in education. It was said earlier on, education should be a right and not a privilege, and we should not put a glass ceiling on aspiration by financial constraints. That's why in Scotland, the Scottish Government continues to support the poorest in society and make sure they've got access to education.
William Rack. Madam Deputy Speaker, it is a pleasure to follow the